It's KK ATL, turn up, it's official. It's KK ATL, turn up, it's official.
Hello, beautiful people, and we are live. We are live once again, coming from our studios right here in Wausau, Midwest, Tulsa, area. And you're welcome to One on One on K84 Podcast. I have with me a guest to have a real, honest, and insightful conversation. You don't want to miss this. But before that, make sure you become part of the K84 Podcast family and community by liking, following, sharing, subscribing on all our social media pages. Just search K84 Podcast and then stay connected. You know what? Stick around. The show kick started in a minute. We go.
It's a vibe.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest in the studio with me today is an MC on the MIC. Yeah, my guest, you know what? I'm so curious to know more about his life, his story, and what he does. If you're in the rap circles, you don't have to miss this, one-on-one, up close and personal with my guest today. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome my guest, G. Wayne. What's up, my brother?
Yo, what's good with you, Brody? How we doing?
Yeah, we good. How is life and everything?
Man, it's lit. You know what I'm saying? Got this broken ankle, but we working.
You know what I'm saying?
We still outside regardless.
We still gotta make it happen. So, who is G. Wayne 918?
Man, I'm just a dude from the west side of Tulsa, for real. You know what I'm saying? I've been making music my whole life. I put my first video on YouTube when I was 12. And other than that, I just been trying to survive the whole time, so.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you grow up?
Really outside for the most part. Like, my mom's ex-husband was super schizophrenic, crackhead, used to beat me up, beat my mom up.
Really?
Yeah, so I moved up out of there and moved in with my grandparents. But they were so old, coming to take care of themselves, so the house was dirty. So it just ended up to me being outside because I didn't know how to clean it. No one really taught me.
So at what age you moved outside?
I was 11 when I moved out of my mom's house. And then I was 13 when I was really starting being outside couch hopping. You know what I'm saying? Starting to smoke tree and just wild out outside for real.
So
I was.
and this whole, you know, what I mean, situation or like whole life experience. What was your real dad or your biological father? Where was he?
Somewhere drunk in Kentucky. My dad, he's a super bad alcoholic, and he was running from DUI charges. He's been running since 2012. He's somewhere now, but yeah, that boy faded somewhere. So it was just had to do what I had to do to eat. Cause I got 2 more little siblings too. So like I was already watching my mom struggle with them, and in my head I was like, I can take care of myself. She done already been doing everything, so I'm about to just get outside and try to figure it out.
So how was the environment, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, the environment you grew up, like, how was it like? Was it like a toxic, or was it, you know what I mean, how, could you paint a picture of how the environment was like?
Yeah, I would say at first it was a cool little dynamic until bro stopped taking his meds. My mom's ex-husband, bro, he stopped taking his meds and started doing harder drugs. Everything kind of just flipped into like a physical and an emotional abusive type of situation. I was just caught up in every day, kind of just, you know what I'm saying, caught in the crossfire. So through all of that though, I've able to channel that through my music and really stand on what I believe in and certain things like that. Cause I'd rather go through all that than to not went through nothing than just be out here just entitled, just have nothing really up here. Niggas be out here wilding. So.
Okay, so what currently was it, you know what I mean, relationship between you and your parents, you know what I mean? Are you still in contact with your dad or your mom, you know what I mean? How was the relationship between you and your parents now?
Me and my mom, I've mended that relationship, forgave her for stuff, you know, had to look at it from an adult perspective as I grew older. My dad, I haven't talked to him like almost 10 years now. So, yeah, I don't even be bothering with that no more. It's just like, it is what it is. I just make sure I'm a father to my son. So,
okay. So
I don't repeat that cycle.
What about like your other siblings? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What is your caring state, and then what's the relationship between you and your other siblings since you moved home, you know what I mean, quite at an early stage?
Yeah, like me and my siblings?
Yep.
Yeah, me and my little brother, actually, I've been taking care of him. Me and him have a lot better relationship than we used to. Me and my little sister still a little disconnected because of everything that happened and how it happened, because she was in the house with my mom's and I'm outside, so it wasn't really like we had ever got to build a relationship, but we cool, you know what I'm saying? But it's not where it should be, unfortunately. But all we can do is try to work on that one.
So with you and your siblings, are you like the same dad or like different fathers?
Nah, so my little brother and sister have the same dad, but my dad's completely different.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
facts.
Okay, so you know what I mean, you don't have that kind of relationship with your dad, but what about his family? You know what I mean, you kind of like have something built with them, or like you don't, because sometimes
Right.
folks will be like, yeah, my dad didn't take care of me or what, so you know what, I'm not messing with him, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna kind of like his family, and no.
Right.
So how is your situation like?
I got one cousin, shout out Nisi, me, and that's the one cousin on my dad's side that I talk to and have any kind of relationship with. Other than that, I don't really talk to anybody from that side.
Okay, so you know what I mean, is he also from Tulsa or from a different state?
My dad?
Yep.
Nah, I'm all from Tulsa. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your greatest fear as a person? Like with all the experiences you've gone through, what's your greatest fear? Like when you sit down, like, yeah, you know what? This is my greatest fear, and then this was something I need to work on, or this is something I got to use to inspire me to do some greatest.
Man, just regret in general, you know, growing old to a point to where I could look back on my life and not be happy with the accomplishments and things that I've done, wasted time, just let procrastination get in the way, and let just fear in general, you know, get in the way of me actually accomplishing what I want to do, which is break generational curse, get my mama out of West Tulsa, you know, and help people really genuinely realize that they're not doing this thing alone. Not everybody be struggling, going through stuff, and that we can really figure our way together, and people can just put their minds together instead of trying to separate and do everything by themselves, that we can probably get a lot further.
Okay.
So if I don't do that, then I didn't do something right. So.
Okay, so you were saying, you know what I mean, at a younger stage, you know what I mean, you left home early, that made you get into certain stuff. So what kind of substances or drugs or wherever that you got into, and then how did you get out of it?
Man, I was deep. We was gangbanging, I was smoking, was swerving where I could, and like really, honestly, what really got me really trying to get away from it was my son. Like I was still, you know, even into my adult, you know what I'm saying, trying to just
was a motivation.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but once I had him, I'm looking at him like, man, I didn't understand when people say that kids change your life. They really, I didn't understand it at first until
you get it.
Till you have one. You're like, them niggas wasn't lying. It was telling the truth. Shit.
I feel you. So,
real.
you know what I mean? Like, what differently would you do? Since with all the experience you went through, right?
Right.
What differently would you do to not repeat the same? Because sometimes our backgrounds or our bringing our environment build a certain character or a certain persona, and then later we turn up passing on the same things in our minds, be like,
Right.
I ain't gonna, but like we end up passing on to the next generation, the next, and after us. Because if you could look at what your dad, be like, whatever your dad went through, it's not your fault for him to abandon you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I be trying to make sure that I don't repeat that same cycle with my son. And like what I would have done differently if I could was just stayed hooping. Just try to stay out the way. But I really didn't have a choice to. So like I just got to take everything that comes with it and try to channel it into better things. You know what I'm saying? Because if you never went through something, you can't really like sympathize with people and understand anything. You gonna think everything is just rainbows, and it's not out here.
That's true. That's true.
For sure.
That's true. So let's get into your music a bit, right? So how long have you been doing music? And
Man,
then what got you into music?
so like I said, no one really taught me how to do anything. So rapping is the one thing that I taught myself how to do when I was like very young. I started writing probably when I was like 8 or something, and then got enough courage to put my first video on YouTube when I was 12, and then kind of just kept freestyling with the homies, you know, rapping, writing, just excelling, perfecting my craft really. And then when I turned 21, I started getting outside and going to open mics. And I was going to open mics every single week, different ones, performing different songs with no vocals on the background. You know what I'm saying? Just the beat and me popping out, going crazy. Oh, God.
So can you remember like your first day at an open mic, and then where was it?
I don't remember like the very first one, but I remember one of the first ones. I was at Juice Maker in like 2021, 2022, and that was a club out north. And it was deep in that one, but niggas in there too. I didn't know nobody in there. Oh me, it was lit. It was lit in there though. Oh me, I was in there hype. Oh God, and they're going crazy.
Yeah. So if I may ask this right, what was one of the most toughest rap battle you've been in?
Definitely when I went to New York, because that was my first time on a plane. Really going even that far away from my home, from Tulsa, so it was real weird. And then like the second battle on Verbal Warzone, because I was there for a week. We got there on a Monday, I battled that night, and then I battled on a different league on Sunday. But on the league on Sunday, I was like in New York by myself. So the only person I knew at the event was the person that got me the connection. But it was my first time meeting him in person too. Shout out Flames on me, Big Fifth shit, it's lit. But like I was in there by myself, so like, and they made me rap first out of the whole event, and I went first in the battle. So like, I ain't get to peep nothing. You know what I'm saying? I had to go in there and just bark real quick, like.
So who, I mean, in that whole tournament or season of rap, contest that you were in, who would you say was your kind of like, this guy's really dope, or this guy is really a medal in the MIC? Who among all the contestants you feel like, man, this guy, apart from yourself, because everyone believe in himself.
No, right. Yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, who really got me into it was my boy Elo. Shout out Elo, 918 Elo, all platforms, mess with him. He was already battle rapping up there, and he had like got me into it, gave me the confidence, like, yeah, you need to go ahead and you go up there and go crazy on them, bro. Like, you wild and you lock in. So, yeah, no, he really put it in perspective for me that I was able to do it in the first place.
Yeah. So when you was done, okay. So how did it all went? Did you won? You know what I mean? How did the whole battle?
The first battle down there, I for sure won. You can find both these battles: G-Wayne 918 versus Homo Grime on K Shark on YouTube. The second battle is G-Wayne 918 versus Will Drama on Verbal Warzone. It's also on YouTube. The first one against my boy Homo Grime, shout out my boy, I definitely won that battle. The second one, I had people saying it went both ways, but the second one was also, it was an on-the-spot battle because the original op that I had his brother, something had happened with his personal life, but 2 days before I got there, so he had to back out. So I was in New York with no op at that point. So I just went to the event anyway by myself, caught the train there. It took like 2.5 hours to get there in New York. I'm on Google Maps like, yo. But I finally get there, and they had somebody else in there that had a round ready where he was just ready to rap. So they just put us against each other. We picked out a beat. We listened to 3 different beats for like 30 seconds apiece and just ran with it. So that was a really dope opportunity, though. Met a lot of cool people through that.
That's good. So have you ever been booed on stage before?
Nah.
Okay, you've not had that experience before. But so, let's say, if a friend of yours get booed on stage, what do you kind of like? You know, what I mean, what would be your words to him or her, or how would you kind of like? You know what I mean?
You gotta look at why you getting booed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something you did.
But sometimes, okay, see, if you're in your home grounds,
I feel like
if you're in your home grounds, right, it's easy for you to get, you know, the support. But when you step outside, and then let's say you're battling this person, and then this person's home's ground, and then he has that kind of support, no matter how good you are.
Right.
They kind of like, because they try like, you know what I mean, go for
And I feel like if you get booed, it's because you didn't know your audience. You was trying to do something in front of a crowd that wasn't just fit for at that point in time. So you really got to read a room, like as an artist, because I've seen that happen at open mics. It'd be a hip hop open mic, or someone get up there, start screaming, and everybody walks out, and they like, why is no one supporting me? Because like no one came here to hear that. You know what I'm saying? We here to hear a different genre. You got to know where you at sometimes.
So, okay, let me ask you, between these folks, Drake or Kendrick, who would you, you know what I mean, go for?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know everything that them boys be having going on, but I listen to Drake music more. So that's really all I can say out there. Like,
you go for Drake, but in terms of lyrical proficiency, do you think Drake is deeper than Kendrick?
Nah, that would be crazy to say, but yeah, that would be insane to say. But I don't even listen to Kendrick either like that, though, to be honest with you.
But okay, with a few that you have listened,
yeah,
we compare both.
Yeah, everybody know that he lyrically inclined. Kendrick would win that battle, but making music, Drake,
commercial wise,
Drake hitting hits every time. Holla and bleed. He had like a jig in his head. That boy's lit up in there, for real.
That's true. So, you know what I mean? What got you inspired in the first place to be like, hey, let me hit the studio and then, you know what I mean, start making like
actual music?
Yep.
It's because I just realized I've been building it up for so long, you know, just working on it, just low key, because I'm the type of person, though, I could never make any kind of money from music for the rest of my life. I'm still gonna rap. That's just like what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? So it just got to the point where I was like, you got to start taking it seriously if you actually want to start doing something with it, because just rapping and posting freestyles in your car is not gonna get you to where you want to go, especially not in today's world. They don't really care about that. They want content. They want eye candy. They could care less if you got all the bars in the world. If it's not presented to them in a nice bow, wrapped around, they're not gonna listen to you. So
that's true. So, you know what I mean, how do you handle and deal with like negative people, and then, you know what I mean, negative situations that you encounter on a daily basis?
I don't hear them. That's part of the mantra that I got with my our group, silence all ops, big SAO, all ops will get silenced. And those are all ops to me. Those are, you know what I'm saying, the devil, demons, people that be trying to bring you down, your friends that every time you tell them your goals and aspirations, they find some way to try to bring you down. they're all ops to me, and I don't be hearing none of that. I like to say we deaf rappers for real over here, because we're not hearing no bullshit at all. Just push that to the side, because it's not affecting my money, it's not affecting my livelihood, it's not affecting my son. Why would I care and pay attention to it?
That's
It just
good.
doesn't make sense to me.
That's good. Okay, so let us, come back a little bit to this issue, right?
For sure.
Yeah, some of the OGs, like, the era before, your era, I was watching ZKRS one, or, some of them OGs, and it was like the state of hip hop now, the content, in rap music now isn't as great as it used to be.
Yeah, it's watered down.
So what's your take? Because this your time, your folks, So what's your take on that? Because you hear certain songs and
For sure, it's definitely watered down. And I started to water down my music for a little bit period of time too, because I feel like that's what I had to do in order to reach the masses. But then what I realized is, if that's not who I'm supposed to reach, that's not who I'm supposed to reach. So I just gotta stay in the lane I was going in the first place. And it is really sad though. Like, all you gotta do is rent a car, get about 10 of them, shaking ass out there, and your video gonna go up. And it's like, it's just crazy how much it swayed from people making damn near music, like movies in their music videos, to just a whole bunch of fast scene changes throughout the whole thing, and they barely even rapping their song. It's all in slow mo. It's like, yo,
so
it's crazy.
would you say is the labels all? Is the audience? Because mind you, let's say if you're selling me a product and I don't like it,
Yeah,
no matter how much you push it out to me, I'll be like, no.
I'm cool on it.
But
right,
it seems like,
it's
the
definitely an audience issue.
Yeah, though the labels have a part to play in it, but majority wise, because if you're selling me shit and I'm not buying it, then you change the seller or the company or wherever has to be like, nah, they're not buying it.
They got to switch up.
Yeah,
they're just playing to what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely an audience issue, but I feel like it's slowly starting to move back towards real hip hop is starting to become alive again, slowly but surely. Cause it was oversaturated with so much bullshit for so long. People starting to get tired of it. So
yeah. So what's your music centered on?
I'm sorry.
What's your music? What's the content of your music? Because somebody be like, hey, I'm a conscious rapper. I talk about my life, or I talk about this, I talk about that. And what subjects or what themes, is your music centered on the most?
I don't feel like it is. I feel like I'm just a full-blown artist in all aspects. I try to incorporate everything into my music, conscious, lit, street, because I'm in the embodiment of all that, I feel like, and just how I was raised and who I am as a person and how I try to carry myself is really a real nigga hippie. And that's on all platforms. Me, Go Mess With Me album has been out.
Yeah. So how is the Tulsa music scene like? Are you guys, sort of like trying to push it to nationwide or nationwide? Because, my little experience here in Tulsa is the motivation is not that much there,
Yeah.
compared to folks like in Atlanta, New York, LA, the East Coast, West Coast sort of, but here in the Midwest or, Tulsa in particular, like, folks are not that much motivated, wanna like, hey, we gotta push it harder, like folks on the East Coast and West Coast and the South are doing it.
Which is crazy because there's so much stupid good talent out here, and like I just feel like a lot of that comes from people not working together and trying to, because there's only a couple groups out here that really just be trying to help and putting people on, and then the rest is trying to do everything by themselves. And like our city ain't ever gonna get nowhere like that. We gotta come together.
Okay, so would you also say, like, okay, from my experience, right, I've had certain encounter experience with folks, and then it's like they don't have the drive to push. From my experience gathering, I meet certain artists, I'm like, hey, I put them with the deal, hey, you know what, I think I could help you out with this, and they wouldn't see, like, you reaching out there, hey, I'd like to help you all. Come, let's work on something together. And then,
man, the drive just don't be there, man. It's like they don't really want to take it all away, or everybody wants to work or wants to be famous, nobody wants to do the work. Ain't that what Kevin Hart said? That's a real statement. Like, it takes real deal sacrifice, grind, time, and patience to really make it in this kind of industry, and a lot of people don't have 3 of those. So
it feels like people just talk with no actions.
yeah, no, that's a fact. Like, and I'll never understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here with a broken ankle right now. I came up 3 flights of steps.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sometimes you just gotta go and do it, like, regardless of what the situation is. Because if not, then it's gonna end up 5 years past, 10 years past, and you still ain't even left your house. And I just refuse to let that happen to me.
That's good and impressive. So let's play this game, right? What comes in mind when you hear these iconic names and places? So I'll start with T-Pain.
Man, buy you a drink. So every time, oh no, my fault. Yeah, we all got debunked on that one. Yeah, the whole world shook. Like, it's not. He was lying to me, man.
No, so okay, yeah. You know about T-Pain, right? T-Pain was known for auto-tune. And then folks be like, yeah, T-Pain is always auto-tune, but
oh yeah, no, he can really sing though.
Yeah,
he don't need that.
First, yeah, auto-tune almost like auto-tune almost all the A-list artists. Majority of them have
yeah, a lot of
in
them.
there, but they don't know. Majority of folks don't know
if
that.
If they heard their favorite rapper's vocals raw, they be like, yo, what is going on? This is insane.
I tell folks like, hey, you could sing, but when you take all the effect from your voice, you'll be like,
man, like, no, whoa. Whoa, they be having the preset on before they even get done, so they don't even know. They don't even know what their raw vocals really sound like in real life. Like, yeah, it's not just you. T-Pain got pipes though. He get on there and go crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so next person on the list, Jay-Z.
Man, just the biggest. You know what I'm saying? He one of
the biggest as in the business side.
Business side.
Rap, you know?
Yeah, business side, 100%. Like, he just, you know what I'm saying? He laid out the blueprint on what to do, how to do it. He one of the first ones to do that and get to the level he is. So you got to put respect on Jay-Z name.
Okay, and Dr. Dre.
Man, same thing, almost like the exact same thing, and the kind of beats that he was coming with. He really shook the the game at a little.
So if you have to choose between Dr. Dre and Timbaland,
man, I ain't even gonna front. Like, I just know a whole bunch about Timbaland like that. So I'm biased. I'm gonna have to go with Dre, but that's a biased answer though.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Dre is a legend.
Both of them a little bit before my time, just a little bit.
But you're all legends in the Dre came before, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Timbaland, but they all have, like, let's say Dre was in an era and then he's been able to sustain himself till now. And then Timbaland came after, you know what I mean? Timbaland is like, you know, let's say Dre will be the first, you know what I mean, sibling.
Right.
And then, you know what I mean, Timbaland follows. But they're all great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all, you know what I mean, great at what they do.
Facts. Yeah, no.
So
all hitters for sure.
Yeah, I mean, okay. The next person on the list is Eminem.
Man, what greatest white rapper alive? Step it. That's the ain't no white man messing with him, bro. He going crazy every time.
Yeah, but there are some white rappers like this guy, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
But he was a dope.
Yeah, I don't know what, but he, like, I ain't gonna lie, I did like his what was it? Rap Devil. Is that the name of it? I forgot what it was, but it was cool though. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah. Everybody know, leave him alone, bro. That's what he does.
Okay,
like,
so do you think
I'm not.
There will be another next bigger white rapper aside from Eminem?
Nah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that he did it so big and so crucially that every time
who will come after him?
That every time someone tries to come, they're gonna be like, nah, he wasn't better than him. It's gonna be like a Michael Jordan situation. They're gonna be popping out the woodworks like, nah. Nah, he not better than Eminem though. Like,
Okay, so T.I.
that's the king of the South, baby. T.I. has a lot of inspiration on me rapping, to be honest, because my mom grew up listening to all that kind of era of rap. So
what would be your favorite T.I. music?
probably like that, like that King of the South. Like, what's the name of that album? I forgot the name of that album, but it's one of them in particular that like I really just listened to a lot when I was growing up. And he just was like, man, one of the first times I was like, man, I wanna do that. Like that sounds fun for real.
Okay, so let's switch a little bit away from music. You're all iconic names, but let's switch a little bit away from music and go to entrepreneurship side. You know what I mean? Jeff Bezos.
Man, just trying to get, that's money right there. That's all that name is. It's money. It's money. That's he on Amazon, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and that just shows you how like you can really take an idea and take it to the tip top. He said, I'm about to help these people do these deliveries from these different stores, and really just started.
Okay. Elon Musk.
Man, same thing. So I just feel like that boy just mad smart. Everybody can't do that. You gotta be blessed with something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos, that's more of a story. Like, yeah, you can take your idea and take it somewhere. Him, you gotta be a physicist in order to.
Okay. So Donald Trump.
Man, he had like his business side of stuff be making sense sometimes, but I just don't agree with everything he's trying to do with the wall and ICE and sending humans that really just want to work, you know what I'm saying, away when they really just trying to come over here and get their bread. Like, if it was really that deep, go get them, force a social security number on them and make them pay taxes. Why would you get them and send them back? That's stupid. You send them money away. It doesn't. So backwards to me, but I don't think that taxes everything is a scam and stuff anyway. They really just extorting us. But like, if you gonna do it, at least be smart about it, dumbass niggas.
Okay, so New York.
New York, baby. I love New York, bro. Like, I can't wait to go back. I was there for a week. I got to go to Queens, go to a couple clubs. I've never seen so much thick chocolate stuff walking around in my life in one area. I was like, this is crazy in here. Every single one of y'all thick like this? Like, I didn't see one skinny thing out there. I loved it. It was amazing.
And so you choose Tulsa over New York?
At the end of the day, yeah, because it's my home, and just getting around New York was crazy. Hell, nah, I couldn't live there, bro. Take you 3 hours to get somewhere. It's 40 minutes away. Nigga. I'd have spent $60, nigga.
That's crazy. Okay, LA.
Man, I haven't been out there enough to really know. I was only there for a week and didn't get to really explore. But I want to go back. I know the weather out there was busting when I was there, though, because the heat out here is just aggressive.
Okay, Miami.
I've never been out there for real. So that really the furthest I've been is Cali and New York. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody been to Texas.
Okay. Okay, so the last one, Atlanta. When you hear Atlanta, you know what I mean? What does it ring some bell?
Man, just all the hitters they've had come out of there. They've had so many big fish in the music industry come out of Atlanta. So it's definitely somewhere I feel like I got to end up visiting just to try to get tapped in or something.
So if you have to choose, okay, let's say if you have to choose between like New York and Atlanta, what would you choose?
Like, to go?
Yeah, to leave, and then pursue your career.
I would want to go to Atlanta now just because I've never been there, just to see what it's talking about. You know what I mean? But and I feel like it'd be dope for sure.
Okay, so I'm coming with this, right? What's the biggest risk you ever took, you know what I mean, in your career and life so far?
Man, probably going to New York, honestly. Because when I went out there, I didn't really have money like that. I was just going on a whim, low key. Just like, yo, gotta do something, you know. I ain't gonna back out now. I already accepted the battle, so get on the plane and just went. And yeah, that was a huge risk because, you know what I'm saying, I could have ran out of money while I was there and really been down bad. Something could happen on my plane, not be able to get back. Now I'm just stuck in New York. So yeah, that gotta be the biggest one.
So, you know what I mean? So currently, are you signed to a label?
No.
Why you don't want to get signed to any label?
Nah, not for real, because they just be robbing people. They be robbing artists left and right. Labels do, they give you a sound of money, but you got to pay it back. You got to generate that money back before you see any real money. And I just feel like I can do everything that a label can provide for me once, because the main thing that they got is reach and they know people. But like, if I just work hard enough, I'm going to get to the same reach and to the same people one way or the other without having to give 60-70% of my revenue right back to them.
But okay, so when it comes to the label issue, right? This was something I say, right? As a new artist, it's hard as a new artist. And then if you have the chance to sign the label, about a year or two, it might not be a 360 deal, but like,
Right.
hey, it could sound like a distribution deal. And then sometimes this is what I say, right? If I'm an artist, right, and a label approach me for like, let's say, hey, we want to sign with you for like, let's say 2 albums.
Right.
As long as you're creative, and then you know that, hey, because sometimes you just need the mileage and the exposure to be like, hey, I'm not going to renew my contract no more.
To build off that. It's just that most of the time when they approach people with deals, they don't be even able to be getting out of them, you know what I'm saying? Like they
Also,
be...
too, one thing also, most of this young, okay, so check this out, right? Let's say a kid growing up from poverty, right? Crackhead family or household, can't read properly or understand certain terminologies and then all that, right? So when I approach you like, hey, I want to sign you, I'll give you $100 million or $1 million or whatever. You've not seen that amount of money in your life.
Yeah, they're gonna
so
jump
you
at
don't
it.
even care reading the details in the contract in the first place.
They're gonna jump at it. Then they're gonna be down bad, asking people for money, right? Like a year later.
And then mind you, like parents or like people around a kid of that sort, they wouldn't like, hey, let us go get a lawyer to review the contract for us first. Immediately they hear that amount of money, sign it.
Sign it, right?
You know what I mean? So, one, there are clauses, and then if you understood them, like, hey, because I'm presenting a contract to you, you could come back to me like, hey, there's clause A in this. I don't want it, or we need to rectify, or we need to amend, or we need to renegotiate all that.
Yeah.
But people wouldn't just read it; they just go sign it, and then you know, if you put yourself in a situation, we'll be like, "Hey, I'm signing you for 20 years." If you had read a contract, like, "No, I'm not gonna sign 20." But you know, what I mean, maybe I'll sign for a 2-year, like a 2-album contract deal. So at least take whatever you want, but with the mileage or the exposure that I get off, I could build off. Because if I'm no more signed to you, and the people, my name is out there, I can use that name to build. Because it's all about people getting to know you. Because the label have the machinery to kind of like push you. Because let's say my name is out there big, or your name is out there big, you didn't make no money off it, but with that name you build off, you could approach like a TI bill, and then you have to be business smart,
right? No,
and then believe in a social media world that, hey,
you're not rich yet. You gotta understand, you're not rich yet. You gotta still, and they be like, oh, I made it. It's over with. Like, nah, yes, that's the beginning.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know what I mean? So you could use that kind of mileage to reach a certain, you know what I mean, category, a certain, you know what I mean, people in the industry. Like, yeah, you know more sign you single, but now you could build your own label. You could because building a label is just, hey, an LLC.
Right. That's all it takes. Yeah.
That's all it takes, because now your name is out there. So yeah, G Records. Out there, right. Present the folks, hey, yo, this, and then you find a few people you trust and, you know what I mean, are reliable, and then it goes back. Folks is kind of like, so I tell folks that, hey, if you get a contract or they approach you, you could do a 2-album deal. Even if you're not getting nothing out of it, you need that name, or you need that kind of like, you know what I mean, to step on it like a stepping stone to get your shit out there. So once you out there, You give them two albums, let them check. Your name is out there, so you have to build off it. But sometimes it gets into the heads of people, and instead of them to put in the work, they kind of like become lazy.
No, for
Because
sure.
money will change you if you're not careful.
100%.
You will bring a whole lot of different people around you that, hey, you'll be like, you know what I mean? Be like, because we are human beings, right? And I always tell folks, right, wait till a person gets, you know what I mean, money or a certain status or position in life. Then you're going to see the real, true nature of that person.
Yeah, facts. That's for real. Like, what defines a man is how he acts in a high risk situation. For real, you can tell that's who he is on the inside. For real.
Yeah. So, in your books, you know what I mean, which artists do you dream to have a collabo with?
Man, Rex Life Raj, for sure. He's one of the top ones. I'd love to make some music with him. R&B Peasy, off the top. I'm trying to get with Rod Wave eventually. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we shooting for it. I ain't gonna lie. So Kevin Gates, he's one of my biggest inspirations as far as the music curation in general, cause just the way he puts it, the way he structures his music, just be so lit.
Okay.
Like so.
Okay. So let's do this right. If you have to go back way into like the 80s or the early 90s, you know what I mean, pioneers of hip hop, which artists would you like, yeah, I want to collaborate with this? He's old, but you'd be like, yeah, this artist, you know what I mean? That in my childhood, I heard this song over and over and over. Like, I want to do something with him.
Man, Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro. I get on something with them. I ain't gonna lie, they was snapping. You know what I'm saying? The Fugees.
Yeah,
it was
Clef.
Yeah, they was snapping too. As far as like those like some real like rapping stuff, man. I didn't realize how crazy like Jadakiss was going. I don't know if that's more like 90s where he at, but just as I got older, I started hearing some old stuff from him. I was like, yo, this nigga is talking. Like, I didn't.
It's a whole different, like, you know what I mean?
I did not know. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Don't come at me crazy. You know, I ain't know. Kiss, you know what I'm saying? That nigga hard, though.
You know what I mean? The 90s, the early 2000s style of hip hop
was different.
Wording and rhyming. And then even before the 90s, even, you know what I mean, the 80s and then the 70s, sort of, because they were like using music as, you know what I mean, a revolutionary, you know what I mean, tool to fight the power, you know what I mean, Ice Cube, you know, their era and all of them, using music as a tool to fight, you know what I mean, oppression, systemic racism, and then all of that. So, you know what I mean, in those era, they really use music as a powerful tool. Not like now, it's like, you know what I mean, the current state of music is like, hey, shake some ass, you know what I mean, money, drag, you know what I mean.
That's all they care about. They trying to get Papa Bean get lit. That's all they care. Like,
yeah, it's
insane.
It's a whole different. So tell me, you know what I mean, how is your sound like? Your sound and style. How would you describe?
Like, I definitely got an aggressive style of rap, but I've been trying to become more musically inclined with it and actually put it together, because for the longest I was just trying to get on the beat and bark the entire time, rap the whole 3 minutes, no chorus, no nothing. And I was like, yo, people, it's real hard to digest the message when it's just getting shoved in your mouth the entire time. Pause. Super pause. But like, so I've been trying to just find different ways to get it across, but it's definitely like a conviction to it. Like, you can tell that it's really me and I mean what I'm saying. I'm not just trying to get on here and lie for this beat to try to make a hit song. Like, I'm really getting on here and venting, and I feel like you can tell that through my music.
Okay, so I want to put you in the spotlight.
For sure.
Okay. Rose, so check on the laptop, right? The other one, there's a beat on Windows Player. Hit that, play, and then you go on the mixer. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so give us a little bit of volume on. So give us a little bit volume. Yeah, on the mixer. Yeah. So push like background sound on the mixer. No, on the mixer.
Okay.
You got it? Okay, yeah. Turn it down a little bit down. Okay.
Yeah. Trying to get me freestyle on that joint.
Okay, so turn down a little bit. Okay, let's try some.
Yeah. Hold on. Can you turn the beat up a little bit more? Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Worry what they talking, either way I still be stepping. If they playing with me, I might have sent him to heaven. Know it's off the top, been doing this since I was 11. Why they tryna play with me like G Wayne isn't destined? Girl, I'm tryna do something right now, no, can't be best friends. Worry what they talking, either way I learn my lessons. Hey, and you know it's off the top, ain't never worried what they talking. I'ma do it from the drop, and you know I've been going crazy, really lit up in the spot, and I've been trying to get a cool little chick. I'm coolin' on the dots. Why they trying to play with my name like I won't hit them on the dot? I've been really out of space, I'm feeling like my name was Spot, and you know what, I'm on lock, and you know we got the drop. I ain't worried about what they saying, I'm not LeBron, I'll never flop, and you know I ain't worried about 12, it's really fuck a cop. Hold on, either way we finna do it. I'ma kill the beat like every time and leave it ruined. I feel like victory is mine, nigga, call me Stewie. And I had to cut my dreads, I feel like it's the new me. I ain't really worried what they saying, they cannot use me. Hold on. Look, off the top, you know what I'm saying?
That was dope.
Look, I'm just now ready to rap.
I just put folks on the spotlight. So, yeah, I just love to put folks on the spotlight.
Just throw them on, see what they gonna do.
Yeah, I love to do that a lot. And then Ross will tell you that, yeah, talk that about me. I love to put folks on the spotlight, you know what I mean?
Throw them on there real quick. I'm not used to rapping with playback either. It was throwing me off the whole time. I'm hearing myself like, hold on.
You know what I mean? So we got to wrap up, you know what I mean, this, you know what I mean, live session in a few. So, you know what I mean, what would be like, what should we look for from G Wayne in the next 5 years to come?
Man, a lot of growth, a lot of exposure. Silence All Ops is going to be taking off on a really huge scale. Be watching out for everything that we got dropping, music videos. I have a lot of content that I just now recently dropped. Real Nigga Hippie albums out on all platforms. Second Script that just dropped. First Day video / Money Song. Full, both music videos are together. That's on YouTube. Evidence full music video, that's on YouTube. So we got a lot of just motion coming and just a lot of bigger and better things on the way. So definitely stay tuned in with everything that's coming, because we're going to try to change some lives for real.
That's good. It was nice having you on this one-on-one section. And then, you know what I mean?
It was nice being here, man, for real.
Great.
Definitely look forward to working more in the future.
Great, for sure. We're going to see greatness coming from the camp of G Wayne. Thank you for having you on one-on-one.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a nice and a real insightful conversation, honest, with my man, my guest, G Wayne 918. Check him out on all social media, you know what I mean, platforms, you know what I mean. So, hey, and also I got to say, I've been your host, Kenna the Greatest, one-on-one on K84 Podcast. And make sure you go follow us, subscribe, like, share on all social media platforms. Just search K84 Podcast, and then you know how it goes. Thank you for having you once again on one-on-one, and we'll catch you another time.
Hell yeah. Can you have those crutches, brother? I ain't had to fall again and shit. I'm gonna fuck around and die.